So with the car park now created, with the dish and the draped profile string draped onto that particular surface, we're now going to have a look at the north of the project and focus a little bit more on how to use the draped profile string option, which is really designed for islands and roundabouts. Now in this particular scenario we have an intersection, and at the moment we have no road design coming in for Williams Drive. It's simply just an alignment, a custom curb return on the south side here, and nothing on the north side. We're going to engage Project Assist to help us build the intersection first, and once it's built the intersection, we're then going to get it to construct the islands and the roundabout for us. Now, the design model surface that we've got with the islands now has a boundary applied to it, and I've done that in Surface Manager, and I've simply used this particular polyline, so we don't have any excess triangulation going across the drawing. So I'm just going to freeze that before we start, and then I'm going to start Project Assist. So the software has picked up the alignment naming, Island 1, 2 and 3, and then the roundabout inner and outer, and then automatically applied the island or roundabout string type, which is exactly what I want. We'll see how they get applied very shortly. Williams Drive, however, needs to become a road string. Once we've got this road string created, an intersection will be formed, and then we have a curb return on this side, and as we've discussed in the previous video, any custom curb return is always a road edge connection or string control. Let's click confirm. So if we have a look at the initial setup here, Williams Drive has been set up as a road string, and the template we're going to be using is simply Road Williams Drive, so this is one we've already created, so that's nice and simple. The custom curb return on this side is going to be applied. Now if for whatever reason, as we've discussed in the previous video, this was not being flagged as a curb return, we would check this box and then make sure that we connect it or associate it to the side road. Okay, don't associate it to the main road. We don't associate this to Islet Street. It's always associated to, in this case, Williams Drive, the side road. We can then apply a template, which we're just simply going to leave as curb gutter left. At the end of the day, once this has been created, I can very easily go into the design data form and change it later. Underneath, we have alignments that are not associated with roads, and that's correct. None of these strings are going to be associated specifically to connect to a specific road. They're going to be draped onto a model. So Island 1, 2 and 3 are all going to be created as draped profile strings draped onto the built model, which as we know is a combination of our car park design and our total model. The template which will be applied is our mountable curb. If for whatever reason we determine that the curb is not the right way around, we can always actually just go in and change this if it is curb mountable left or curb mountable right, depending on your alignment direction. Due to the fact we've got very short lengths of tangent and arc, we've got some very small values for those being applied. Further down, we've got roundabout inner only. And the reason for this is because when the software detects that there are two alignments that are connected for a roundabout, in this case this would be roundabout outer, the software will automatically deal with roundabout outer. We don't need to go and tell it what it needs to do. So it's going to create the inner as a profile string, okay, not going to be draped onto a surface, and it's going to be basically using the curb mountable right in this particular example. We'll have a look at its vertical design afterwards, because at the moment we're not draping it, so obviously the question around, well, how's the vertical design being set up is obviously fairly prominent. We do have one default radius curb return on this side. Now normally the radius value sits in here as 10. Now if I was creating multiple curb returns here, I would not set this to 18 just in case other curb returns were created, but because I know that only one curb return is being created, I'm simply going to set that to 18. Again, I could always use the curb return tool later to adjust its radius. I'm now going to click compute. We're going to give this a name. Okay, so there's quite a bit that's happened here. First of all, the intersection between Williams Drive and the Islet Street Road here has been created, and if we just go and simply turn on the mesh for total model, we'll see that the whole intersection has been created. Yes, we've probably got the wrong template there for the curb return. Yes, we've maybe got the wrong template for the end of Islet Street there, but we can always go in and manage that later on. At the end of the day, the hard work of creating this has been done for us. Let's turn the mesh off, and we'll actually turn the mesh on for the islands. this is what's been created. Let's have a very quick look at the islands first of all. Very simply, they are draped profile strings. If we go draped profile, you can see here that they have been basically draped onto this BM design model using their particular template, and these are updated as that particular surface changes. With respect of the roundabout, if we have a look at the vertical design for the outer, you can see there we've got some very, very tight sampling, but the reason for that is because the outer edge of the roundabout is draped using a reference surface entry in auto profile onto the built model, meaning that if that built model changes, this particular reference will update. Now, the last string that we need to look at is the inner. There's quite a bit going on here with respect of the inner alignment. Let's first of all look at how the vertical geometry has been set up by going to auto profile. There's a reference point entry in here, and the way that this has been set up, and again this is entirely editable, the outer alignment is the reference, which as we know is draped onto the built model, and then a slope of 3% to this particular alignment or this particular string has then been set. So the inner string is 3% above the outer alignment. Okay, so as long as the outer is always draped, the inner is always going to be 3% above it. So this is exactly what that entry does. We've also got some design constraints that have been added, and again these are fairly generic, but you can go in and change them if you want. So as you can see here, we've got simply from the outer string a projection of 2% and 5% being shown, just for some context, but again you're within your rights to go in and change these. The last and fairly significant part of this is the modelling that's been done in the background. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just turn off the display of the triangulation here. If I was to simply just create these strings and apply them with Model Builder to the Model Builder surface called Model Builder with Islands, as you'll see here, Design Model with Islands, what we'd end up with is a lot of clashing of line work and codes throughout this particular part of the design. Now, when we actually go to edit here and have a look at Islet Street, you'll notice that there are a number of different entries that have been added with PA, and PA means Project Assist has added these, and these are editable, but really it's just a notification to tell you this is what Project Assist has done. So when it comes to just simply reviewing little bits of design such as this, so let's go and have a look at maybe this island. Normally, what you as a user would have to do is you would actually have to go and add these entries in yourself. You would have to basically tell the software to remove the center line through that island so you don't have this conflict of strings and codes. The same goes with the North Island here. You can see the same thing has happened. Project Assist has gone and trimmed the center line of this particular road out. And the same goes with the roundabout. As we highlight, you can see that all of that trimming has been done for you. So just on Islet Street alone, with these entries, the number of edits that has been made is fairly significant, and this is where Model Builder and Project Assist do work very well together, because Project Assist is going in and doing all of this trimming for you to save you having to do that. Let's close down Toggle Display. So in summary, this is how you can use Project Assist to simply bring in your islands if you choose, but also then look at constructing roundabouts at the same time.